Welcome to this tutorial on using the IDB Analyzer to merge the PIAC international data. In this tutorial, we will show you how to use the merge module. You will need this if you're going to be merging data from across different countries. If you will only be working with the US data, either the US prison or household data, without combining it with other countries, you will not need to work with the merge module of the IDB Analyzer. The IDB Analyzer is a standalone application that creates SPSS or SAS syntax to merge data from different countries and to conduct analysis with large-scale assessment data. It works with most large-scale assessments, including PIAC. All file manipulations and calculations are performed with SPSS or SAS. It is configured with PIAC sample design and assessment design settings, and it implements the corresponding and correct variance estimation. To install the IDB Analyzer, you will need to download the IDB Analyzer from www.iea.nl and go through the installation procedures. In a separate video, we showed you how to do this. There are two modules to the IDB Analyzer, the Merge module and the Analysis module. In this video, we'll show you how to use the Merge module. When using the Merge module, you will need to follow the numbers on your screen. First, select the directory where the data are stored, and notice that all data must be in the same directory, as the IDB Analyzer will recognize the study from the file naming convention adopted by the study. You will then select the countries of interest and move them over to the panel on the right. Go to the next panel by clicking on the Next button or on the Select File Types and Variables tab. You will then select the file types. In PIAC it's easy as there's just one file type. Move the variables of interest to the panel on the right. Provide the name of the output files where we want the data stored, and click on the button number 6 to start SPSS or SAS. After you have made the selections and SPSS or SAS starts, you will see a syntax file that, when processed, will generate an SPSS or SAS file with the name and location you specified in step number 5. Notice two things. Help is always available by pressing the F1 key or by clicking on the Help button available in all screens of the IDB Analyzer. So let's take a look now in the software how this would work. So you're going to launch the IDB Analyzer, and you'll see that you can select between SAS and SPSS. We're going to work in this video with SPSS, and you're going to select the Merge module. And you'll see on the screen that we have already pre-selected the directory where we store the PIAC International Public User files. And there's a separate video where we show you how to download those files and copy them over to your machine. Then you have the list of countries that you can work with, or the country files that you have downloaded. And here you can select countries one by one, or select them all at the time, or once. Here, I'm going to do that. And you have this button here where you can edit the country list. You'll see here that some of the names are in English, but some of them are in Spanish, like Belgica. So you could, edit the country names if you want to do that. Once we select the countries, we're going to go to the next tab. And on the next tab, you'll see Select File Types, number 3. So I'm going to select General Response File. And like with the countries, we could select the variables one by one, or we can select them, one by one, or we can select them all. In our case, we're going to select them all because we want to create one big file with all countries, all variables. And we're going to go down here and we're going to define the output file, and we're going to copy that into our PIAC data work directory. And we're going to call this all PIAC countries. No spaces, no special characters. Save. And once we're done, we're going to start SPSS. Once SPSS starts, you'll get on your screen a syntax called all PIAC countries, as we named it originally, and you'll get commands and instructions for SPSS. So what we'll do here is we'll simply follow the instructions, Control A followed by Control R, which is equivalent to doing run all, and you can follow here along what's happening. And you'll see the file's been read, it's been saved. And once you're done, a couple of things that you should check. Number one is don't be surprised that the data gets clean, so you will not find an open data file in your SPSS window. But you should go to where we said you were going to save the file into your work directory, and you'll see there that you'll find the file called all PIAC countries SAV, and you have all PIAC countries SPS, and here's your syntax that creates this SPSS file. You'll also find a temporary file, and you can just delete that. I'm going to do that right now. And so if we go back to the IDB Analyzer and we go to the main menu and we go to the Analysis module, you'll see now that we have the file all PIAC countries highlighted here, already selected here for the analysis file, and you can then use this to analyze, but that would be, we'll explain how to use the analysis module on a separate video. After you have merged the files, you can do the following. You can create indices, adjust country IDs as necessary to match OECD reporting styles or guidelines, create selection of subgroup variables, create variables for contrast coding, etc. You can basically do any type of file manipulation with the merged file. There's no naming convention for the new variables, but it is always recommended to keep them simple. Avoid very long variable names. And one last piece of advice, data files should not be sliced or filtered. This is one of the options that SPSS provides for saving files. Thank you for watching. For more information or comments about these videos, please write to egonzalez@ets.org. Thank you.
This video was made possible by the Institute of Education Sciences of the U.S. Department of Education, through Grant R305B160020 to Educational Testing Service. The opinions expressed are those of the authors and do not represent views of the Institute or the U.S. Department of Education.